I remember the cold floor beneath me, the taste of blood in my mouth. I was dying, or so I thought.
Rafael Mendez. The path ahead is darker than you know, but you hold the key. The leave from the bottom of your heart, and your watch will sever from your world this evil before you, and every evil that will come your way. Only then will your story truly begin.
There are questions I've learned not to answer. Not because I can't, but because words cheapen what the soul remembers.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Why do people call you the Walker?
Kids these days. I never said he could ask. Either way, I didn't give Bowen an answer, but the question unlocked something I hadn't touched in years. My past. The last time I saw my father, I was barely 12. His death wasn't heroic, just sudden. It wasn't an accident. He wasn't killed. He chose to go, out of his own will. I never understood why, but it clearly broke something in me. It planted in me a vow. Joining the academy was the only way forward. I excelled in every respect in my academy days. Obstacle course, sparring, shooting, name them. But none of it mattered to me. I joined the academy, not to stand out, but to simply follow. I thought if I walked his path, I'd understand why he left so early. We were done with the academy. It was time to get into the field. My new badge didn't heal the loss, but it gave the pain a name. Duty. My early years as a police officer was nothing special, just the usual. Rookie moments, fights, arrests. The streets teach what the books can't, that evil isn't always loud. Sometimes, it wears a smile and pays taxes.
You're the silent type, huh?
I prefer listening.
Good. Then listen close. Donuts are sacred. Don't touch the jelly-filled ones.
Detective Janet Simmons, a legend in the department. She didn't trust easy, but she trusted me. I just got promoted to Detective Homicide Division, so I was to receive on-the-job training from her for the next few months. One day, a suspect managed to slip past us mid-operation. Had the chance to take him down, but a kid was watching from a window. Wasn't in the report, of course. Didn't think it needed to be. Simmons never said it, but it was at that moment she started treating me like a partner. With work and everything, my family could only get together for dinner once a month at most. Isabel, my elder sister, tried to lighten the mood as usual. Wasn't helping. They didn't like that I followed my father's path. Of course they were right. I could meet my end, just like he did. They never asked me to carry the weight, but I did. Every step I took in uniform felt like I was walking in his place. Simmons and I got transferred to a new division, missing persons. I found my rhythm in the silence of the cold cases, the missing, the forgotten. I felt close to them. Our first case in the new division was a missing child from a locked home. The windows were barred, no forced entry. Turned out to be a case of abduction. The culprit was the child's homeroom teacher. It was messed up, but I'll keep the details to myself. On a certain night, my pocket watch started glowing, out of the blue. Thought I was hallucinating, but I wasn't stoned or drunk, sure as hell wasn't sick. That had never happened before, but somehow, I felt certain about one thing. Something was about to go really wrong.
Pack your gear. We got a new one. A bunch of kids and a staffer. Gone from a daycare. No signs of entry.
I'll meet you in 20.
Rafael, this one feels different.
Remember, I said everything changed the day death spoke to me. The real change started with this case. I had my first brush with the supernatural. Daycares are supposed to smell like crayons and soap. That night, it smelled like silence, the kind that holds its breath when something has been taken. We swept through every room in search of clues. We expected signs, but we found none.
There were no power surges. It's clean. Too clean. I don't know how exactly, but the cameras must have been tampered with.
We watched the record of the room on screen. It was clean on one frame. The next, nothing. The gap was precise. Somehow, someone had cut out a piece of the record.
They were in the cramp room. I went to check in on them, but they were all gone.
Did you see anyone?
No. No one could have been there.
Maria was the person in charge of the daycare. She was a lifeline for those kids. She never called in late. She kept lists, made sure every crayon had a home. She stared at us like we were about to tell her a lie.
At about 2, I saw a hooded guy walking hastily towards the daycare. He looked suspicious.
Are you sure it wasn't a delivery guy? Was he carrying a package?
No, he wasn't. His hands were in his hoodie pocket, so he couldn't have been.
Most times, neighbors see what they want to, or what their fear lets them see. But I felt this was different, or maybe I wished, seeing that we had no other leads. Luckily, a nearby building had an external CCTV camera that captured the pathway of the supposed suspicious hooded guy. That was our first lead. We started connecting the dots. X marked the spot. Now, everything could have gone smoothly if not for one thing. We weren't sure, but we learned that whatever was going to happen to the children was going to take place real soon. Within the hour, kinda soon. We hurriedly found our way to Spot X, a half-complete abandoned building. Some men stood guard around. We called in the guys from Homicide, but time was not on our side. We had only 20 minutes left. Following protocol would have meant for us to wait on their arrival, risking the lives of the children. We picked the men one by one, stealth mode, until no one was left. We got into the building, hoping to rescue the children before something bad happened. There were no children, just something that looked like a creature from children's worst nightmares.
Fresh meat. I would have preferred children, but you shall do. I shall feast on you tonight.
Out of pure reflex, we rained bullets on it. Not a single bullet left a dent. We realized, at that moment, we faced something out of this world. A bitter revelation we wouldn't have believed if we hadn't seen it with our own eyes.
Why do you struggle without meaning? I'm not of this world. Your weapons won't hurt me. Even if by any luck you manage to kill me, your dear children are long gone. Sealed in another dimension. One where mortals can't tread its path. Only I can get to them.
It struck Simmons down with a mortal blow. She didn't even scream. She only looked at me, like someone passing a candle. I moved to her and I felt the world split, a cold shiver down my spine.
Get them. Bring them back.
She died, and I went into a daze. I didn't get a chance to come to. I got struck along my chest, found myself lying on the ground, in a pool of my own blood. I could feel my life life slipping out of my body. Or maybe I was imagining things.
My liege, his numbers have been tallied. Shall I go and guide his soul? Not this one, Reaper. I have unfinished business with his lineage. I will go myself.
Blood stopped gushing out of my wound. The air changed. Everything stopped moving, as if time paused. A shape appeared from the edges of my sight, a mysterious figure. It looked like an entity out of this world. Nervous, I asked it what it was.
I am death, the very embodiment of the passing of mortals to the afterlife. Rafael Mendez. The path ahead is darker than you know, but you hold the key. Your watch holds power you do not know of. The leave from the bottom of your heart, and your watch will sever from your world this evil before you, and every evil that will come your way. Only then will your story truly begin. I grant healing unto your wound. With this, my debt to Manuel, your father, is paid in full.
I asked what debt, but he never answered. Time spilled back into the room. The beast still breathed. Simmons did not. Believe, from the bottom of your heart. I vaguely remembered my father said something similar the day he gave me the pocket watch. I never understood what he meant. I still don't. All I knew was, I was going to avenge Simmons. If I had to believe in a damn watch, then so be it. I knew I had to believe, but I wasn't told exactly how to use the watch, so I just kept raining bullets on it. It came at me. I hit it on its chest with the watch in my hand, glowing. I didn't mean to, just pure reflex. And then, it just stopped moving.
How did you get that curse, human?
To him it was a curse, but to me, a blessing. I placed the watch on the seal inscribed on his palm. Wasn't sure what I was doing. It just felt like the right thing to do. The seal threw me into another dimension. A space outside the world I knew. The kids and the caregiver stood there, afraid, waiting for help. I killed the beast. It was time to rescue the kids. But seeing this made me realize that rescuing them wouldn't be as easy as I thought. I had to cross the pole to get to the kids. But these lost souls, undead, whatever they were ready to devour whatever would dare to cross the pole. At that moment, I understood why the beast described this place as one where mortals can't tread its path. Mortals were not allowed to cross the pole. They would have gotten to me, but I held something they feared. My pocket watch. I finally managed to get across to them. It was almost over. The same type of seal inscribed on the beast's palm was drawn on the ground beneath the kids. That meant there was one thing left to do. I raised the watch and struck the seal as hard as I could. It cracked open, leading us back to our world. It was finally over. The lost, found, the cursed, broken. But Simmons would never breathe again.
Rachel, your statement must be clear. The events, they defy logic, but we need to understand exactly what happened.
Captain Buffer, I and Simmons' direct supervisor. I had already given him my report, but who would believe such a wild story? He needed more proof to satisfy the top brass, especially when the death of a detective was involved. According to Rachel, she and the kids were bargaining chips. The beast had made a pact with something worse than itself, and they were meant to be offered as sacrifices to it. Simmons and I seemingly arrived just in time to put a stop to it. She also explained how I walked across the narrow pole to get to them, broke the seal, and led them back to our world. Captain Buffer was overwhelmed, not sure what to believe anymore.
Walked the path. The Walker.
That was the origin of my epithet, the Walker. The name stuck with me like a shadow, following me till this very day.
So, why the Walker?
Let's get back to work.
Oh, come on. Why do you have to be so difficult? Look, I'm trying to connect with you, boss, okay?
Some things aren't meant to be explained. The past doesn't always speak loud, but it shapes the steps we take. And some paths are meant only for those who dare to walk them. This is my story, the beginning of everything.